AITA for making a PMS, period joke about my dad. My F17, dad, M44, often makes jokes about periods or PMSing. For example, if any female gets upset, angry, or is just in her feelings, he asks, "Are you on your period or something, or someone must be PMSing?" I've also seen him bro it up with his guy friends talking about how hormonal women are. Mind you, this man has 2 daughters and had a wife. My mom divorced him. I bet you can guess why. He also has a mom as well as a sister. So he definitely shouldn't say stuff like that. Last night I was at my aunt's house. Dad's sister, my cousin, and I are graduating on Saturday, and we were decorating our caps together. My dad was also over there just to visit with me mostly. Well, he got all angry talking on the phone, I'm assuming to a coworker, about work. My aunt asked what happened and I said, "Sounds to me like someone is on their period." Both my cousin and aunt started laughing. They know exactly how my dad is. He asked what? And why would I say that? I told him he got angry pretty suddenly, so he's gotta either be PMSing or on his man period. I then started going on about how hormonal man can be to my aunt and cousin. He seemed irritated, so I told him he shouldn't make jokes about women and their periods then, because that's exactly what he sounds like. He ended up storming out of my aunt's and sending me a long text about how disrespectful and immature I am, and I thought I was being cute and funny, but I'm not. I kinda feel bad and like an so AITA? AITA for refusing to let my husband contribute $10,000 for his sister's wedding. My husband, 33, and I, 32, been married for 5 years and have 2 kids with another on the way. We make decently good money, $300,000, but we haven't been in this money for that long, and we did put the vast majority of our savings for a down payment on a house. We are also in a period of time with high childcare cost. I also have low 6-figure student loan debt, and we each have car loans. I would like not to deal with debt our entire life. My Sil, 30, makes over $180,000 for a few years now. Supposedly, her partner's family has money and he is of similar age and earning potential. My husband paid for his sister's master's program. We only spent less than $10K including everything, even accommodation for our own wedding, in part because he was paying her not cheap tuition. She doesn't recognize how much he sacrificed to do so. It's not expected that she will pay that back, and I am fine with that. Most was spent when we're dating and not that much after marriage. When we got married we had a smallish reception in India because his parents wanted it. My Sil didn't come because she wanted to start her internship during the holiday season. Although, we spent $1K on a non-refundable ticket for her. He co-signed and paid the down payment for a loan, when we had no money and a bay on the way without really asking. She didn't realize autopay was off and ended degrading his credit score right when we were home shopping, so our mortgage rate is higher than it would have been otherwise and will be for years to come. She is now getting married. My husband gets off the phone with his mom and says we need to sell out investments to give at least $10,000 for his sister's wedding. We have budget about $7,000 already for plane tickets to attend, at least him and 2 kids. I might go, but I will be 3 months postpartum and I am not sure about bringing a newborn on a 24+ hour travel adventure, another reason why I am the bad guy. Well, anyways, I refused for him to give that money. I said she didn't ask and doesn't need it. She is old enough to have saved or planned something within budget that parties can afford without him contributing. Apparently, the wedding will be more than 1,100 people. He says, why do I hate his family and it's tradition for him to help pay? I told him that he has obligation to his family, his kids. He says I am too money-minded and selfish. I said that it is not fair to spend most of our disposable income for THR year on his sister. That his sister is a grown woman and he has already contributed enough to her life. This wedding is a want and not a need. I also pointed out that he wants to spend more money on his sister's wedding than he did even on his own. We will have 3 young children and our own debts. The economy is not stable and we cannot deplete our savings for his sister. Am I the asshole for refusing? Added 1: his thoughts are that sister's wedding is now. We see and take care of our stuff later and he should contribute. I grew up poor. So I know what it feels like for money to disappear. I know that a good job today doesn't mean a good job in the future. We are dual income and one income can cover all expenses if we stopped 401k and took the kids out of daycare, and it would be very tight, hence why savings is important. It is of the thought that our very modest wedding was not because of preference but because we were at a different financial state. But she didn't attend our wedding at the end of the day cause she didn't feel like it was important. For me is the nonverbals and knowing his father in particular, it's about appearance, and this is his only daughter. The fact the partner's family has money makes him want to measure up to them. If he doesn't push back, his parents will ask him for money, probably without telling his sister, for more and more stuff. I am under the impression that the dad is the one planning it. She is in the US too. Edit 2, spoke to Sil. She was surprised that Mill would ask for $10K. She said she already sent the money for the venue. She told her not to ask him because he has other things going on with his life and she has been saving. So basically this is feelings of what he should do, but it's customary. She asked if both of the kids would need plane tickets and said that the tickets are already expensive. AITA for not letting my girlfriend's dad kick me out? So, my girlfriend, 18, is deaf, has bad anxiety and PTSD, and is dealing with an autoimmune disease. She grew up in foster care and was adopted when she was 16 by this insanely rich couple. She has a sister 7 years older than her that lives in their guest house in exchange for some housework and childcare with her younger siblings. My girlfriend's dad is an ass and she lives in the guest house with her sister to keep some distance between them but stay close to her mom and siblings. My girlfriend takes naps every afternoon after lunch. She doesn't like sleeping alone because she can't hear and feels vulnerable. Usually her sister is in the house with her, but she was busy a few days ago, so my girlfriend asked me to come over and hang out in the guest house while she takes a nap. I was watching TV in her room while she slept and her dad barged into her room. He started yelling at me to get out, so I woke my girlfriend up and told her what was going on. She tried to explain that she invited me and she wants me to stay, but he refused to listen and kept insisting that I had to go. They got into an argument and I texted her mom and sister to tell them what was going on. They both came home within 20 minutes, but her dad had left by then. They are both furious. My girlfriend's mom and sister have been fighting with her dad since then over the fact that he has no right to be in the guest house, especially without her permission. Her contract states that she is allowed to have guests and I count as her guest. He has no business being in my girlfriend's room while she was asleep, and because he really triggered her PTSD and the stress is affecting her autoimmune disease. Now he's blaming me for the whole thing because apparently I should have left him alone with my girlfriend when he started yelling, and me getting involved is causing problems. My girlfriend and her sister are really thankful that I didn't leave, but her dad is still mad, so I wanted to know if I was wrong. AITA for taking a job that my best friend wanted but didn't get? Okay, so some basic info. I 21F and my best friend 21F both work for the same company. It is a horse breeding stud. For some context, each did not tell the other we applied for the job last year as we both went different route of getting the job. She got it through some connections while I did over 3 interviews to get the position. So there recently came an opportunity for certain amount of staff to move to Australia and work for their spring and summer and possibly move out there for the rest of our careers. So I and best friend, who we will call Kate, along with 30 other applied for the position. There is a limited number of spots, 14 in total, and I got one of the top position while Kate got an email to state she was rejected from the work program. Now Kate has done nothing but talk about how she got the job to friends and family while telling them I had little chance as I didn't have friends in the right places, so to say she was gutted when she got the email was an understatement. She called HR to rage to them about it and said they made a mistake and that they had to fix it at once, as she demanded that she be put onto the first flight available. While I went out for dinner with my BF to celebrate the good news. At this point I didn't have Kate told I was going, only my BF and my father knew about it. So Kate came over to talk to me and I knew it was about her not getting the position. While she was over, she was so mad at the HR telling her she wasn't suited for the program. Kate then went on to talk about how I didn't get the job so she didn't feel as bad. It was in the moment I turned to Kate and told her I got the position and I was just waiting to start the process for my visa. Kate's anger turned into pure utter rage when I told her this. She began to scream and throw things at me, which included a mug of fresh tea. After she started to calm down, she began begging and crying, asking me to turn down the position so that she could go instead of me. Kate then went on a rant of how she deserved it more than I did and it wasn't right for someone like me to go when it was rightfully hers. Kate has gotten her family involved in the situation, telling them I am the reason she can't go cause I took her spot and that I am being selfish and that I haven't put in enough work this year to get this. She has also started to tell people I slept with my manager to get a good recommendation from him for this position. And #X200B. So would I be the asshole for taking this job? AITA for refusing to move in with my BF? Throwery. Yesterday my 32F boyfriend, 32M, asked me to move in with him. We've been together for about 4 years and I love him very much. He's the kindest, handsomest, funniest man I've even known. The thing is, he's got a 4-year-old cat that likes to pee on stuff. He uses his litter box, but he's also peed on countless cloths, clothes and shoes. He pees on every rug available and has peed on the sofa. The house has that distinct ammonia smell underlying everything most of the time. He's peed on an old laptop once, and recently peed on the desk I used to work, aiming at my folder, which had countless annotations for my master's degree, and also splattering on my Kindle. I've pointed to BF a few times that maybe there's also some underlying health problem with the cat, and he's also not castrated. BF suggested that, since the cat has grown around a dog who used hygienic carpets, maybe he acquired the habit, and have been saying that he'll look into it anyway, but putting it off. He won't accept my help, though. BC he feels it's his obligation. I'll add that I'm a cat person. I've grown around cats and currently have 2 I adopted myself and would also be moving with me. And BF's cat is super cute and friendly, I really adore him, when I'm not cleaning off pee or sniffing around the sofa to make sure I won't sit on it. Here's where I'm a BTA, when he asked me to move in with him, his place is arguably nicer and the town is better, I said no. He was obviously hurt and I explained that I do want to live with him, but I don't want to deal with the cat's pee 24/7. I said that he has to sort this out first and I am more than willing to help, but I wouldn't risk my cats learning this kind of behavior anyway. I could see that he was hurt, and I'm feeling bad for upsetting him. However, I don't think it's an unreasonable request. Reddit, AITA,